What's up, ladies and gents? I'm back, and it's been a while, but this is going to be my return. So, in this video, I'm just going to explain a very simple tip or technique you can use to either fall asleep faster, for one, or have more lucid dreams, better sleep, that sort of thing. So, when you go to sleep, when you try and go into a sleeping state, what happens is your body will try and relax you in stages. It won't just happen instantly unless you're super tired and you have a sleep debt or something like that. So, in an average day or night, your body will try and take you sort of down a staircase of relaxation, if that makes sense. So, you'll start, you'll get into bed and then you'll get slightly more relaxed and slightly more until you're actually asleep. It doesn't happen instantly. And so when your body is deciding what step you're on, when it's deciding how relaxed you are, it uses a few things and a few signals to determine how tired you are. Now, stick with me for this. I appreciate this is a bit in-depth and a bit involved compared to some of my other videos. But when you learn this, you'll really have a better understanding of how you fall asleep and how to instantly fall asleep if you have trouble. If you have insomnia, or if you have difficulty with actually getting to sleep, this will really help you. So, like I said, your body falls asleep in stages, and it uses certain signals to tell it when to do certain things. Now, one of the most key things that you'll notice when you fall asleep, or that you won't notice actually, is you'll enter sleep paralysis at some point. Now, some of you will be aware of this, some of you won't. It depends on how, it depends on you as a person. If you are not aware of it, don't worry. If you are aware of it, it can be a bit scary, but it's nothing to worry about. So, when basically sleep paralysis is your body's way of paralysing your muscles so that you don't act out your dreams when you're asleep, so that you don't start kicking if you're dreaming about running, for example. It's a very natural thing, and it happens to everyone. And sleep paralysis is nothing to be worried about, nothing you should try and avoid, because it's natural, right? It actually stops you from hurting yourself when you're asleep. Now, when your body or your mind is deciding when to put you into sleep paralysis, it uses what's known as the rollover signal. Now, the rollover signal is your body's way of testing whether your mind is awake or you're asleep. Okay. Now, in a normal, natural human being, you wouldn't actually be aware of sleep paralysis because your body would send the rollover signal to your brain. If you roll over, I'll explain this in a minute in more depth, but if you roll over, then your body would keep you awake and it would not put you into sleep paralysis until you ignored the rollover signal because your mind was asleep. Now, what I mean by that is there's normally a bit of overlap. Normally, you'll get this strong urge to roll over or to change your position in the bed, to roll over to your other side or to cross your legs or whatever. This is known as a rollover signal. When you get that urge, that feeling that you need to move, that's your body telling your mind. It's asking your mind a question. It's saying, "Are you still awake?" If you respond to that signal, okay, if you actually turn over when you have the urge to turn over, you won't fall asleep. And so it's very important to, especially if you have trouble falling asleep, if you're an insomniac or whatever, you need to make sure that you ignore that rollover signal or that urge to move your position. Okay. Now, what's going to happen here is if you ignore the urge, you will experience sleep paralysis. You will notice it happening, and you'll feel like a heavy blanket being pressed against your body and it rolled over you. This is normal. This is nothing to be scared about, even though it can be a bit disconcerting at times. But basically, that's it. So let me start right from the beginning, just to summarize a bit here. So when you go to sleep, when you try and fall asleep, you normally would lay there for, say, 20 minutes and try and relax. Okay, then after a certain amount of time, you would get the urge to roll over. If you stay still long enough in a certain position, you will get the urge to roll over at some point. Now, when you get that urge, ignore it. Don't move at all. Okay, don't even move your arms, your legs. Don't even do anything like that. As long as you can breathe properly and you're not, dribbling or finding it hard to breathe, then just don't move. Don't move at all. And what's going to happen is your mind or your body is going to think, oh, okay, he's ignored the rollover signal. He must be asleep. Therefore, let's start sleep paralysis. And what will happen then is you will enter the sleep paralysis state where you'll feel like you can't move. You might feel like there's something pressing against you. You might feel like you're weightless. The experience can have many different. It can be experienced in many different ways. But the point is that once you get to sleep paralysis, you're basically asleep. You're going to fall asleep either very soon or you already are asleep. And what this means is you can enter a lucid dream directly. So normally you would experience sleep paralysis only for a moment and then you'd fall asleep completely. What you need to do is at this point, so if you want a lucid dream, when you get to sleep paralysis stage, keep your mind awake by focusing on the dream you want to have. Okay, so when you feel like you can't move, but you're still panicking inside your head, thinking, "Oh shit, I can't move. What am I going to do?" When you get to that stage, you can go one of two ways. You can either ignore it, relax, and try and just fall asleep normally. Okay, or you can keep your mind awake and have a lucid dream. So it's up to you. It's completely up to you. You can use this to either fall asleep faster, okay, by ignoring the rollover signal, sleep paralysis, sleep, or you can use it to have a lucid dream. Ignore the rollover signal, sleep paralysis, lucid dream. It really depends on what you want to do. So I hope this has been helpful. And if you have any ideas, any suggestions, please leave a comment. I'll try and reply to everyone, and I'll see you next time.